the story of my older self and her struggle with consistency that I think many of you will relate to. The struggle that my older self used to have with consistency was incredibly frustrating and painful for her. It's not even enough to describe those feelings, to be honest. She knew that consistency is the key to progress in all areas of her life, but she somehow continues to fail keeping consistency in her everyday life. The only thing she found herself being consistent at was starting something, then stopping before she can get any results. So why do we fail to stay consistent even though we know it's a non-negotiable ability to have to achieve anything in life? Hi humans, I'm Bureiko Tamashi. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about the reason behind your struggle, the missing pillar to master consistency, and 9 things that I learned from not only the challenges that I failed to stay consistent at, but also from the introspection work that I did. Make yourself comfy, break some food, drinks, and take something to note on. Can be paper, your phone, I don't care what it is, but I highly recommend you to take notes along the video. Trust me, you're gonna thank yourself later. Also, don't forget to turn on subtitles if needed. We fail to stay consistent because we tend to focus on the outcome more than the process. In another way, we are more drawn to the positive feelings of outcomes rather than the struggle of the journey. Here is an advice about choosing our struggles that I learned from the Subtle Art of Not Giving a F book, that I highly recommend, by the way. This advice literally helped me embrace, and still does, the journey even more by making me aware of the struggles I will need to go through to achieve my goals. Ask yourself, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? Example, I want the pain of self-discipline. I'm willing to struggle with consistency, self-control, failures, excuses and temptation, self-doubt, etc. 2 fundamental things to know and keep in mind along your journey are: number 1, getting 1% better each day. We often dismiss small changes because they don't seem to reflect a huge improvement or gain. Atomic Habits author believes in the philosophy of the aggregation of marginal gains. Simply put, it means that if you can focus on getting 1% better each day for 1 year, you will get 37% better overall from the time you start. On the contrary, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, your growth will set nearly down to 0. And number 2, the valley of disappointment. We often expect progress to be linear. At the very least, we hope it will come quickly. In reality, the result of our efforts are often delayed. It's not until months or years later that we realize the true value of the previous work we have done. This can result in a valley of disappointment, where people feel discouraged after putting in weeks or months of work, without experiencing any results. However, this work was not wasted. It was simply being stored. It's not until much later that the full value of previous efforts is revealed. Think of them as an ice melting. An ice cube sitting on a table in a room of 26 degrees doesn't melt right away. Every degree of increase in temperature prepares the ice to finally melt at 32 degrees. So, complaining about not achieving success despite working hard, it's like complaining about an ice cube not melting when you heated it from 24 to 31 degrees. In order to make a meaningful difference, you need to persist long enough to break through the plateau of latent potential. Why does self-discipline equal self-love? Well, it simply means that you genuinely love yourself too much to let you down and let you do bad habits by setting boundaries with yourself. I see it like parenting my inner child. A kid wants everything. They're prone to instant gratification and dopamine. They can easily get addicted to something. So by saying no to bad things and yes to things that will pay off in the long run, it will teach the kid another way to view the world itself. There is a French quote that says, "Quand tu fais des choses faciles, ta vie devient difficile. Quand tu fais des choses difficiles, ta vie devient facile. Which basically means, when you do easy things, your life becomes hard. And when you do hard things, your life becomes easy. It's obvious, but with today's society, we tend to forget with time, since instant gratification is being even more present everywhere in our everyday life. So I obviously, and I'm sure you do as well, want the best for my inner child, and avoid everything that could harm her in the short and long run, or anything that is nefast for her growth. In order to master consistency, we need to be more disciplined. And the thing that will help you to not only level up those two abilities, but also help you to carry on your journey easily, is the simple act of